You know, I get you in here and as a guest.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you in here as a guest. And what do you do?
I add to the program.
No.
I bring this to a higher level.
You take the program over.
I make the program something special.
No. It was Gidge World. How did this change?
That's true. It became the art of politics.
It came, and now. How does this happen?
Well, Ken,
and now you take over. Now listen. Now you want the camera on you?
Well,
I'm supposed to introduce the show.
No.
There's the camera.
No.
When are we going to start the show?
Well, in a couple of minutes, as soon as Richard repositions the camera so they all focus on me.
All right. This is Ken Gidge, and this is the Art of Politics. And the Art of Politics occasionally gets extremely dirty, and let me tell you, this week it's real bad up at the State House. I'm in 2 committees. I'm on the Liquor Commission, studying the Liquor Commission, $600 million agency. Does anybody understand $600 million? No. They're arguing about dirty floors or where the wine is put. I'm telling you, this is so bizarre. And then next week, I've got to go back to Commerce again. So next week, I have 2 days and of really tough stuff, David.
So
I can't walk around. I can't walk around. See, here I am right here. Look. See? Right here. This is me. There I am.
Well, it looks like an abstract, which sort of makes sense. But, Ken, what I'm hearing you say is, A, you're drunk, and B, you need a shower.
All right.
Hey, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
We got to say hello.
Okay, hello. You know, I got a couple complaints. First complaint today is, I'm walking behind this lady, and we're going into a store. Mm-hmm. Not in the dark alley. I mean, we're going into a store. So she goes in. I can't open the door for her because I'm too far behind, but I'm right behind her. So she opens the door and just closes it, and I walk, almost into the door, and I go, women can hold doors open for men.
You really have touched on something.
Okay,
there,
well,
that frosts my cookies.
I'm not done yet.
Well, you've got my dander up.
Right,
my blood is boiling.
A real man holds the door for everyone.
That's correct.
A real woman, can please be at least nice or kind or considerate.
Especially for somebody who's elderly like Ken.
No. One other complaint.
What? Okay.
I'm in a parking. I'm like at Shaw's or someplace.
With or without your walker?
No, I'm in there. Stop. And I'm in the car. And I start backing up, and I see this person coming this way. This person sees me backing up.
Yep.
I'm backing up.
Yep.
I look this way, and I start backing up, and I hear, hey! And I go, what? So I get out of the car, and I go, what do you almost hit me. I says, you saw me backing up. What gives you the right to walk behind my vehicle, a moving vehicle, and give me a hard time? This happens all the time at stores.
The law.
No.
Pedestrians have the right of way.
No. Yes, they do. But where are the brains of people? And you want to know something? I'm not the only one who feels this way. I'm really upset about little things. Little things are upsetting me.
I can tell.
All right, now your story about women not opening doors.
Well, no, I want to focus on little things for just a minute. This is kind of fun. What other little things bug you?
I just gave you 2. Do you have any?
Do I? No, I don't usually get
bugged. You don't
bugged
have little things.
I don't get bugged by little things. I get bugged by big things.
Well, running a person almost over who saw me backing up is pretty stupid.
Well, yeah, but
this happens all the time.
It is. I admit it is pretty stupid. I mean, I don't mean to. Pardon me. I don't mean to cast judgment.
Well, you said you were a little animated here.
This whole thing with blowing the doors, this whole thing with opening doors, I generally hold doors for people.
Right.
I try to. I don't try to make a super big thing out of it.
No, you open the door and
open the door and hold it, or if there's a woman in front of me, for example, and we're standing here, I'll reach around and open the door, something like that. Hold the door for anybody who comes in.
Right.
Women regularly, not everybody, but women regularly just open the door and let it closed behind them. They make no effort to hold the door open.
To see what's behind them.
Not even if they know that I'm right behind them.
But I also saw this week where a woman was behind a man, and a man just sort of did the same thing that woman did. And then I was there, of course, to open it. And I'll tell you something, and I've said this to my wife, they don't make doors anymore that let gentlemen be gentlemen, or ladies who wish.
What do you mean?
Well, the doors are in such a way, and in the hallways, is where you can't really open the door. You sort of have to open the door, go in, and then hold it on. You know what I'm talking about? Hold it open.
Because they're self-closing, or?
Well, yeah. I mean, you open the door for somebody,
yep.
but you're sort of in a small area.
It's not wide enough.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Not, it's not wide enough. Okay.
All right, okay. So they don't make doors for people to be.
Well, part of the problem is because we're getting wider. It used to be 50 or 100 years ago, we had, we were less weight.
No.
We got to go in, we were skinnier. People could pass
and
in
you
hallways.
got a problem? Look at you.
Well,
I'm the right weight. I'm just the wrong height. Look at you.
I'm the right height, but the wrong weight.
So we're getting big. So you think it's because we're getting bigger?
I think so. Absolutely. It's either our
doors.
ever
You can't
Dupois.
open a door. That's right. And I got news for you. This is the art of politics, and I have some news for you, ladies and gentlemen. It's important to talk about the little things because it's the little things that add up to the big things. Right?
Well, $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Pretty soon you're talking about real money.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Very exciting.
Tell us, I just want to sit back and bask in your wonderfulness and tell us about what's going on. Here, you came into the studio. Wait a minute. You came into the studio tonight, and I could hear you. I was sitting here making calls to constituents.
Calls. I love this.
I was
on a TV thing.
I was sitting here making calls before the show.
Yeah, and you were calling, and I heard you. Oh, are you going to vote for over Lamontagne? No, you're not. Maggie Hassan, are you going to vote for Obama? Oh, you are? Okay. And then you convinced them to vote for you.
And then I pitched myself. Yeah, and I wrote them a little.
Well, why did you do that?
Because that's the way I can connect with people.
By asking them who they're going to vote for?
Absolutely.
Well, why don't you just introduce yourself?
I did.
No, after you did this.
I said no. I started. I say, hi, I'm Dave Robbins. I'm one of your state representatives. I'm running for re-election. And I wonder if I could ask you a couple of questions. Because that way I've got a list of Democrats, Republicans, unenrolled, i.e. independents. That way I can get a sense of what it is I might be able to expect. Somebody who says, I'm going to vote Democratic all the way down the line, I don't care who's running, I probably will not follow up with them.
You know, David, you're going to get away with that now, okay? But I had 3 phone calls,
yep.
Okay, from the house to my car, got something out of the car,
yep.
and walking back.
Yep.
All right? So I'll make a suggestion, and this is what I do. This is what I do now when I make calls to anyone, my constituency. Right. Hi, believe it or not, this is not a recording. I'm really your state representative, and I'm honest to God calling you. And they laugh.
Absolutely.
And they find that funny.
Actually, that's a very good handle.
It's true.
It is true.
I get these calls. Oh, if you hold on, somebody will come and sell you a vacuum cleaner. And by the way, are you a Republican or a Democrat? I'm so sick of this stuff already.
Yeah.
And we're in politics. We're in politics, and we're supposed to understand this stuff.
I have a surefire way to get rid of people on the phone like that, quickly, easily, and very respectfully.
Yeah, take your phone off the hook.
No. Why don't you call me for a second?
All right. Okay. All right. Hold on a second. You ready?
Ring, ring, ring.
No. Wait a minute. I'm gonna call you.
Well, no. Come on. No, just make believe.
No. I'm gonna call you.
I don't even know where my phone is.
Well, we'll find out. Is it on?
No, it's not. I don't think
it's not even on.
No, I don't think it is. I turned it off before I came. Oh yeah.
It's
wait a minute.
calling. It's mobile. All right. You see?
Hi, this is David.
Why? You're as dumb as I am.
All right. So you're okay. Hi. This is David.
All right, okay. All right.
How can I? No. Don't dial the freaking phone.
I'm trying to shut it off. This is my iPhone.
All right.
All right. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so
Ring-a-ling-ding.
all right, so
Ring-a-ling-ding.
you're a pollster. Ask me a question.
Ring-a-ling-ding. Is that
Hello,
enough?
I'm David. Hi, how are you?
Okay.
You're a pollster. Ask me a question.
Are you a Republican or a Democrat?
Oh, hi. Let me ask you a question. Is my information valuable to you?
Okay, is you think you ought to do that?
Go ahead. Just follow.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is David. He's running. What ward are you in now?
I'm in Ward 9.
All right, Ward 9. So
I was in Ward 9 last time.
So if he calls you and says to you, I'm David, I'm in Ward 9, you ask him to, the information I give you, does it help me?
No. You say, is it valuable? And you say, yes, it is. And I say, well, how much are you going to pay me for my valuable information?
Oh,
and you
God.
say, silence. And I say, and you say, well, we can't pay for that. And I say, well, all right, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Take care now. Goodbye.
You know what? I think what we're starting tonight. We're starting something new tonight. You just didn't know it. We figured it out a little earlier, and that is manners. We're going to try to get manners back, right, David?
Well, we'd like to.
I mean, opening doors.
Respect.
Respect. Little things like don't walk behind a moving car. I mean, you know. So we're gonna
don't
do
hit pedestrians walking behind a moving car.
Oh, yeah. And if you want to get them, open your door instead of running them over, you know.
That's right.
I mean,
right. Yeah.
You know, be nice.
But do it in a nice way.
You know, be like, you know, babies and puppies.
That's right. Oh, we love babies and puppies.
That's right. Don't hurt anything like that.
That's absolutely right.
Okay. Now.
I think we've run through that one.
No.
What would Socrates say?
Well,
what would he say about manners?
People who don't know this is Socrates, and we need wisdom here.
Yep,
and
I hear
sometimes
you.
silence is complete magic, except for TV and radio.
And radio, yeah. If there's silence on here, people are
Right,
going to be
and
just
you
flipping
know,
the dials and.
We have said you and I got faces for radio, not TV.
That's correct.
This guy has a face for radio, but the problem is he doesn't speak.
That's true, which is probably why he's so wise.
That's right. So wise.
So were you up at the State House today?
No, I wasn't. Were you?
I was.
And what would you be doing at the State House?
Well, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was at Lake Winnipesaukee.
Doing what?
I was sitting around making telephone calls and writing my blog and sending out thank you notes.
Okay. You just went up to the lake and sat on the side of the lake and typed?
Well, it was sort of like that, yeah.
You just took a ride up there?
Well, no, I stayed up there for a couple of days. I stayed
So
there in somebody's house.
Did you? Oh, you didn't camp out on the ground or anything?
Oh, no. It was a very nice cottage.
You were at somebody's house?
Yeah. I won it in a raffle.
You what?
I won it.
You won what?
Oh, well, I actually had paid for it.
Okay, wait a minute. You
is
won it, but you paid for it.
Well, I
remember,
yeah,
folks.
It
She's
was
running for a political office.
It was a raffle at the Rotary Club, and
oh, you're in a
raised
Rotary
money.
Club.
Well, no, I'm trying to get into the Rotary Club.
A Rotarian.
Well, no, I'm not sure they're going to accept me.
The Rotarians are not going to accept
I don't know.
you?
I don't know. I've got to, it's this very rigorous vetting process. I've got to go and I've got to eat lots of food and smile and chat and give them money and get involved
to
in
become a
projects.
Rotarian.
To become a Rotarian.
You know, this job, and we've talked about this before, this job pays $100 a year, okay? And we do it for all sorts of good reasons. Most of the time when you first get in, you don't know what you're doing. And when you go for your second and third time, you know what you're doing and you don't know why you're doing it, other than to try to do some good. But here you are, you want to become a Rotarian.
I really do.
You know, why are you going to them?
Well,
where is the respect for the state representative that does, by the way, the same thing that all state representatives do? How many state representatives in Massachusetts?
There are 200 state reps and 40 state senators.
I thought you said it was 165.
No, I think it's maybe it's 160 state reps and 40. It's 40 senators, and it's either 160 or 200 state reps.
Okay, and there's 183 in Vermont, and I think there's 180 in Maine, and up here is 400. We do the same jobs. I'm in commerce, banking, insurance, and also, you know. Okay, so I do a lot.
Okay.
Just like everyone else does.
Yep.
All right, and they get paid what, $50,000 a year?
I don't know.
Okay, we get flat tires. I'm paying a parking ticket because when I went up there, I couldn't find a place to park. You would think now, okay, and some people think we're overpaid at $100 a year. I couldn't find a parking place, I got a parking ticket. I put the parking ticket in my car, forgot it, which was $10, now it's $40. Okay. How many do you have?
I think I probably, in the last 2 years, I've gotten about 20 or 25.
20, 25. Is that over the money that you've made?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah.
It's rather discouraging sometimes. You would think a parking place, but you know, I think I can understand what people think about politicians, but I think people should start looking at New Hampshire a little bit closer, because we're the only state in the United States that we are volunteers.
And look what it gets the voters.
Yeah, well, it's not that bad.
Just remember.
We're volunteers
Yeah,
up
but
here.
just remember.
So what do we get for it?
Well, we get fun and joy and have a great
No,
experience.
I mean,
and it's a
really,
wonderful-
what do you get out of it?
I love this. This is the best job I've ever had. Seriously. No,
Okay,
no.
so wait a minute. Are you retired?
I am.
Do you have a pension?
I do.
So you're one of the 47%.
That it has a
Here you
pension.
go, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're on another subject, at 47%, and here he is right here. This is what Romney calls, what? What does Romney call you? A hanger-oner?
An upstanding citizen.
A nothing?
An upstanding
You're one
citizen.
of them. And by the way, since there's 400 state representatives, and most of them are retired or have pensions, I believe 80% of the 400, right, are for the 47% that Romney says really are pretty useless, really do nothing. I mean, this is awful. So there's 80% are all the 47%.
I would only agree with you if I could go through and pick out the names and put them into the proper categories.
Oh, man. Look around. I mean, come on. I mean, 70 is young up there.
Well, it's true. You and I are
we're kids.
We're at the fresh bud of spring as far as
right.
the average age is concerned.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you want to vote Republican, that's fine, but you must remember that 80% of the 400 are the 47% that Romney says are pretty useless. You're one of the useless people, and you're going to vote for him.
80% of the 400 are 47%.
No.
I'm trying to figure.
Are the 47%?
I'm trying to figure out how this would look as an equation, and I think we've gone past algebra 2.
No, as Mr. Clinton would say, simple math. David, we're talking about the entire United States as 47% who are useless, do nothing, and contribute nothing to the government.
Which 47%?
Okay, and I'm saying up at our 400 people, 80% of them are the 47% that he's talking about. So do you understand that now?
80% of 47% is about 39%?
Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Local politics. Hey, you know, I've got to tell you something. I have met more Republicans not running this time.
It's like the Democrats last time.
What is going on?
It's like the Democrats last time. There are a whole host of Democrats 2 years ago who decided not to run, and now many of them are back again.
But there's so many Republicans aren't running. What happened?
I don't know.
Nasty.
I wasn't aware that there were a whole host
and, you
of
know,
Republicans not running.
I think people have to start understanding when we say free staters, this is not good. Free staters are not good for the state of New Hampshire, because what they want to do is take the government over. Not only free staters, but there's so few of the free staters, there's probably about 25. So they get together with the libertarians, who really have nothing else to connect to, so they connect with the free staters. And then we have some of the apple pickers, what are they? Oh, the Tea Party people. They're little, so they all get together, and they're the meanest. I'm telling you, they're worse than junkyard dogs. 125 in a caucus alone, not within your own party. They have a party within a party.
Is this a conspiracy theory?
No, it's a party within a party. Are you trying to tell me it's not true?
I don't know what the hell you're
say
talking
it's not
about.
True.
I don't know what you're talking
There's
about.
125 Republicans who are from Tea Party, Libertarians, and Free Staters that have a caucus without you guys. In other words, within the Republican Party. That's why the state is really screwed up.
They're screwed up because of 125 state legislators.
That's right.
God,
That's
they
right.
must be tremendously powerful and important.
They are.
I mean, think about that. 125 legislators, that leaves only 275 other legislators, and of course, they can do nothing because this 125-member caucus just runs all of government. Gosh, that's amazing, Ken.
And you know what's amazing? When you say that's amazing, look at some of the dumb things you voted for, which you wouldn't vote for a year ago, which you wouldn't vote for this year.
Now,
how did this happen?
As I've told you,
how did this happen?
It's a learning experience.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah.
Right. 120. I think people have to understand, and I've said this about the Republican Party before, your party has been hijacked. And I think Republicans must understand that up here in New Hampshire. The Republican Party has been hijacked. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like you agree.
Well, no, I'm acknowledging what you're saying.
Which is true.
I'm trying to be respectful of you.
Am I more awake than you are tonight, or is this just, I think,
no,
you're sleeping?
I'm at somewhat of I'm relaxed.
Mellow?
I'm low key. I'm mellow. There was something about, I passed a couple of folks outside. I stopped, I talked with them. They were smoking something, and I must have breathed something in.
You see, there you go.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna hold
by
that
the way,
against
I'm in favor of medical marijuana, just in case. I know it may.
You know, if they called marijuana Teddine, okay, the new medicine called Teddine, and what it does for people who have cancer,
Yep.
who have no appetite at all,
Right.
who are losing weight, with Teddine, all right, in a pill form, and you can mix it in your brownies, or you can have it in a liquid form, okay, Teddine, with this, guess what? They start to eat. Those with glaucoma, if they use Teddine,
Yep.
not much, just a little Teddine, their eyes open up just a little. If you have multiple sclerosis or muscular dystrophy, using Teddine, what this does, instead of being so doped up that you're like a little zombie, with Teddine, you're awake and there's little pain and you're a little happier, and guess what? Teddine it's a miracle drug, like aspirin. But the problem is it's called marijuana. And when somebody hears the word marijuana, they think, oh, from marijuana to heroin. Well, that's not going to happen. The people who go to heroin are going to go to heroin anyway. We all know that. I owned a bar, I know. People drank, some drank good, some got drunk all the time. You knew them right away. But if you change the name to something like Teddine instead of marijuana, and stop thinking smoking is the way you had to do it, and you can do it pill form and brownies.
Well, all I can think of is every time I think I'm the only one who's lonely, someone calls me. And then along comes Mary.
Ah!
You know she'd rather
Yes.
give me kicks than be my steady chick, and I love her desperately.
That's right. And by the way, I think what people should do is find people who lived in the 60s, because the people from the 60s, and by the way, that's music, that what you're...
The Association, 1966, along comes Mary.
What you were talking about.
That's my generation. It's not your generation. You're too young. That's my generation.
Excuse me, how old are you?
I'll be 64 next month.
I'm 66.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm
No.
66.
No.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. You're not.
All right,
66.
okay, I'm 66.
No, you're not.
So it's not, are you kidding me? I was a bartender in Boston in the 60s. Are you kidding?
You were 12 years old.
Anthony's Pier 4.
Oh, Anthony.
That was my first job.
Anthony.
My first job. And when my father died, Mr. Athena sent me a card. I saw his son about 2 years ago. I stopped at Anthony's.
Yep.
And I saw his son, and I said, I got to tell you something about your father. I says, your father, when my father died, wrote me a letter. He came over after about an hour later, and he says, you know, I got a lot of people coming in here talking about how nice my father is. But nobody, a few people, will come in and tell me that that's what my father did, because my father did a lot of that. He says, I really want to thank you.
That was very nice of you.
That's right.
You were showing him respect.
I was shown, well, it's true, but
Did you get a free meal?
no, that's what I was.
Oh, you were okay. All right. You see that? Well, we're thinking along the same lines because that's what I would have been angling for a free meal.
But there's a beautiful museum, the modern
I love
museum.
it. I've been there half a dozen times.
Yeah, it's got to be one of the most beautiful, right next to Anthony's Pier 4.
It is. It's great.
That's wonderful.
Hey, but I want
So
to get
we're
back.
talking about medical marijuana.
Yeah, but I want to get back to the Liquor Commission for a
Go
minute.
ahead. Well, we didn't start this yet.
We didn't start the Liquor Commission?
No, we didn't start. This was, we interviewed the Speaker of the House last week.
Oh, that's right, we did. And,
That's
and
right.
he's-
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, that's what we were
So
talking
did you have a little thinking that this was last week and he had just gone?
Well, no, but I know that you're on the committee that's investigating the Liquor Commission. I know you have some very strong feelings about it.
Yes.
And I just love hearing about it.
All right. David, it's a $600 million business. $600 million.
Right.
3 commissioners, and they put it up in such a way, they did this, by the way, politically. 3 commissioners.
And let's see, Maggie Hassan did it.
No, Maggie Hassan didn't do it.
Oh, she didn't. Okay.
No, this was Republicans, actually.
Oh, it was.
So there's 3 commissioners.
I thought this was part of her bill.
Are you asking me a question?
I
Would
am.
you like me to answer the question?
Well, I want to show you respect, so yes,
All right,
please go right ahead.
$600 million business. 3 commissioners.
Mm-hmm.
Their pay for 3, their pay with all the benefits, that's vacation, that's retirement, and everything. 3 commissioners, $380,000, running a $600 million business.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they get. Now, we're missing 1 commissioner, okay? So we're now down to about $250,000 a year, including, that's 2 commissioners.
Is that where some of that money went that's missing?
There's no money missing.
Oh, all right.
600, anyway, my complaints, quite simply, up there is that there are people in that committee that I'm in that can write laws, that understand politics, obviously, know how to go into committees and get what they want, know how to go to the House, and then, if necessary, go to the Senate. But not one person in that room understands $600 million a year business. So I went to the Speaker and said, look, we got to get somebody to come in here, because what they're talking about is, well, you know, the wine is down here when it should be up here. Excuse me, 600 million, guess what? It's working. Oh, I walked into one of the back rooms and the floor was dirty. Excuse me, all right? How the store is going, how the stores look. By the way, you went into the new store. You felt comfortable?
It felt very nice. It was inviting.
Yeah.
I don't drink, but it was a wonderful experience.
And I just must say this. The commissioners are not politicians and do not understand politics. But what the people who are studying the Liquor Commission, and I'm one of them, I just happen to have been in retail. When you have a store so nice and so pleasant and you feel comfortable, you will buy more.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it works. But these people up there are going to try to dissolve it. The amendment you were talking about, the Hassan amendment, basically gave the commissioners the ability to run it like a business. In other words, they could open the stores they needed to, close the stores that were not making the money, and basically do business like that. One commissioner got into a lot of trouble. He's gone, and there are 2 commissioners who have to get sort of beat up by the commission. And I think it's awful. And I think of all the mistakes that politicians have ever made in the state of New Hampshire, it will be if they screw around with a $600 million business. Because to lose $50 million or $25 million is nothing on a business like that. What is your opinion about it?
Well, I think that revenue from liquor is tremendously important to the state. I really have taken a hands-off approach for this reason. I am very much an outsider on this. I don't know. I read the newspaper. I don't have any inside information. I really don't have any background. So what I have to do is I have to listen. I have to talk with people like you. I talk with other people and try to get a sense of what's going on. And is this a real issue, or is it something that's not a real issue?
Have you heard anyone other than myself say, no one in that room understands a $600 million a year business?
No, because I haven't asked the question,
All right.
but I think that that's a very good point.
Nobody
I think
says
it's a very
this.
good point.
We spent 3 hours talking about an employee who was sort of like a whistleblower, but wasn't a whistleblower, who they were trying to fire, and they put it very complicated. These people who are running the liquor commission, running the $600 million a year business, don't want anything to do with politics. So they're not political.
Mm-hmm.
So every time they do something nice, for instance, since the commission has been running, we get 400 of us you got it too, from the State Liquor Commission, a nice envelope, and when you opened it, it showed that you could get $10 off this and $5 off this, and a nice looking card. You got that?
I think so.
Okay, so it really looked good.
Yep.
The Speaker of the House goes, are they stupid? We're talking about them and they can't do things right. And they're giving this, it's like they're trying to buy us. And I go, you know, Mr. Speaker, I called them up. And you know what they said to me? We wanted you guys to see what we were doing and how good it looks. They weren't playing politics. They were trying to show us the branding of it, the new logo, the new stores, exactly how competitive they are, etc. So because they did this, people are criticizing them. And I just go, they can't win. I'm sorry, they can't win. Then they're talking about trucking, and they're talking about the contracts, and I'm going, the little guys can't get into the trucking. I swear to God, the little guys can't get into the trucking. And I'm trying to explain to them, I said, excuse me, if the state of New Hampshire says we're looking for a company to pave 3 miles of highway, a person who's paving driveways, a little guy, is not going to get into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's only very few people.
Right.
Okay, but they didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I said, we got to bring somebody in there.
Is that going to happen, or you think you're going to be able to?
Well, I've got to tell you, I am a Democrat, and the Speaker is a Republican, and very controversial. But I got to tell you, he was just like them. He had all these things, but he did say it is a good point if you can find somebody, but we ain't paying them to come in.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got to find somebody who worked for like GE, who is up there and in a multi-billion-dollar company, just to come in and explain what a $600 million a year business is and what they're getting for their money right now. We're getting a lot for our money.
What I would suggest is pick up the phone, call Chris Williams at the Chamber of Commerce, see if he can give you 3 names.
Why don't you call a Rotarian? Maybe they'll let you in.
Well, Chris is also a Rotarian.
Why doesn't the Rotarians come to us? We're the political people.
Why would they come to us?
And ask us if they want, would you like to join? Instead, you've got to go around and do what? It's like a hazing.
Well, no,
you've got to go and spend money.
No, when folks, apply to become members of Rotary, it's an organization, and they just want to make sure that people are going to go along with what Rotary does, which is basically service. It's a service organization.
Geez, let me see if I have this straight. We are politicians up here in New Hampshire, and we're paid $100 a year, and we get 50 cents a mile, and we get free tolls. See, what else do we get? Parking tickets. We also get parking tickets.
Well, they're not free parking tickets.
Well, they cost something. So we
have to pay them.
And we're really basically running the state.
Isn't it wonderful?
Isn't it really? So you're saying to me they're trying to figure out, the Rotarians are trying to figure out if you are good enough to be in service?
It's one of the nice things about this is they don't care who I am.
Obviously. Obviously they don't.
Which is wonderful. I mean, this is just the way it is. Everybody goes
You're a
through
state
this.
representative.
Yeah, but so what?
Do you do service for the state?
I like to think so.
Fine. Then Rotarians should come to us and say,
but-
would you like to be a
But
Rotarian?
Ken, I'm nothing. I'm nobody special because of that. I'm just like every
We're
other bozo on the
not
bus.
talking about special, but if the requirement is to do good and to help society and to help the state and the city you live in, you do it. You are a Republican. I wish you were a Democrat, but you do some good work.
Well,
I'm
appreciate
a
that.
Democrat, and I believe that by telling people you got to bring in somebody who understands a $600 million industry is really important, because they're talking about.
Your telephone just went off.
Yeah, I know. It's less than a speed bump, okay? That's all the stuff that's taking place, and they're making a major thing out of it. And this is just ridiculous. This is politics at its worst.
Speaking of politics, you were kidding me a couple of shows ago about my subcommittee, Child and Family Law Subcommittee. Well, we
no, wait. The subcommittee made up of how many?
3 of us.
3 in a subcommittee.
Right, and
you
I was the chair.
For a
We had a couple of bills that we were
forum,
studying.
you needed how many?
2.
2.
That's right.
Okay.
So we could hold this in a very small room.
Obviously, you could stand in the hallway.
That's true, and we almost
And they
did
would
one
let
time.
us stand in the hallway.
They would let us stand in the hallway.
If they could save a dime to keep it without heat.
Yep, or
they'd do
air
it.
conditioning.
Or air conditioning.
Right. But we've got another bill has come back to us from a study committee, and it has to do with finding people guilty, how to deal with people who lie in child and family court matters, who perjure themselves, and what we need to do, whether we should draw and quarter them or what. However, what do you
Draw
think?
and quarter
Draw
them.
and quarter. Well, this is New Hampshire. We
this is. Yeah, we certainly have a way with words up here.
We do.
All right. Well, let's draw and quarter them
now,
liars.
do you know what? How
and they call us liars.
No.
The politicians are liars.
You know what drawing and quartering, as I understand it, had to do with 2 things. One of them was the way you cut somebody this way, but the other thing was the horses. You put ropes on each of the arms and ropes on each of the legs, and then you said to the horses, "Boogie," and you got torn apart. So I think that's where it came from.
How do we get from Rotarians to pulling a person apart with horses?
Well, it's sort of like, when you think about, pulling a chicken apart, nice cooked chicken in front of you kind of pull it apart like that.
And how do we get to pull chicken when you were talking about people who are lying? Now you're going to pull them apart with horses like chicken?
Well, what I'm trying to do, Ken, is I'm just trying to keep vamping until you get caught up in your next thing.
Okay.
Trying to keep
okay,
remember what you said? 2 seconds is an eternity on radio or television.
It is.
So I'm trying to keep my voice going.
That's the reason why I think people like the show, because it's always quick. And
now, you and I may not be quick, but it is quick.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, our energy level tonight is down a little bit. I think we need to.
No, you're holding me down. If I didn't look at you, my energy level would be fine. I mean, really. I mean,
am I holding you back tonight?
No. It's your energy level. You've had 2 days sitting at a lake.
I've been mellowing. I've loved it. I've loved talking with people. I had some great conversations. Talked with a school teacher. We talked for about 15 minutes. Talked with some people who, if I make 15 or 20 calls, at least one of them is a really good call. I mean, it's just like sitting down and shooting the breeze on politics with you, except people are nicer.
Well,
very entertaining.
I'll accept that.
Yeah.
And by the way, let's talk a little bit about you running. How is your campaign going? You're running Ward what?
Ward 9.
Ward 9.
Yep.
Dave Robbins.
Right.
And who are you running with?
Running with a fellow named Bill Ohm is another Republican, and I'm trying to think of the name of the third Republican. I should know this. And we've got 3 Democrats running against
Who are
us.
the Democrats running against you?
There is Mr. O'Brien and Linda, oh golly, I can't remember Linda's last name. It's a hyphenated name, and a fellow named Marty Jack. Or Marty
And you
Jack.
see, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the 47% that Mitt Romney says does not contribute and are useless. This is a Republican, all right?
Well, it's, you know, I'm not, I mean, I'm certainly, you know, working to get reelected, but it's not so important who's running against me or.
Well, no. First of all, I know one of them, and all I can say is you better run hard because the Democrats are coming back with a vengeance. And they're also coming back with a vengeance, the Republicans, against me.
Really?
Yes. I know, I believe, I'm not going to mention the Republican because don't want to do that, but we're pretty sure because of one's profession, the Republican will win and become 1, and Dave Campbell, who's running for the speakership, will be 2. And I'm like, I've got to beat everyone else.
Right.
Okay, so that's how I feel. So I'm really working hard, but I promise that this will be the last time. I won't do it again. And I will not, under any circumstance, put my name in to be elected for the Hillsborough County Commission. I will not do that. I will not do that.
Oh, I enjoy that.
After what you guys did up there this year, it's shameful. It's got to be one of the most shameful, awful things of the experience.
Why, tell us why that is. Why is, so you're saying that what I did was shameful?
Did you vote to take $20,000 away from Meals on Wheels?
20,000?
In the last 2 years?
It was 10 or 20. I'm not sure which one.
So you voted to take that away?
I did.
And how much do we have as a surplus this year?
We don't have any surplus. We have funds that lapsed that we're holding back that we use to not raise taxes.
Excuse me. It's called a surplus,
David.
You can call it anything you want.
$2.5 million from it.
It's got, excuse me, it's close to $9 million. So you took
7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So last year you took 10,000, and this year you take 10,000 away from Meals on Wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know in Nashua that Meals on Wheels will only be going 4 days a week?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay.
What? Now, why is that?
Because the money is not coming in.
Yeah, why is the money not coming in? Isn't an overwhelming majority of the Meals on Wheels funding coming from sources other than Hillsborough County? Isn't the money that comes from Hillsborough County a very, very small percentage of the total budget for Meals on Wheels?
I got news
Doesn't
for you.
the director of Meals on Wheels earn $100,000 a year? Aren't there several people at Meals on Wheels who are paid significant salaries?
Really? What are they?
What's going on?
What are they?
I'm asking.
And the industry is what?
The industry is
bringing in money?
No, the industry is
bringing in money.
No.
Is putting.
How is the industry bringing in money?
1,700 meals a day. Okay, 5 days a week. So
they should get paid as much as a liquor commissioner who runs a $600 million company.
People like you.
I thank you.
You know what you forget to say?
What?
You forget to say you still took the $20,000 away from Meals on Wheels. So
I said we did.
To those people who don't get it and find out. So are you saying the people who run Meals on Wheels make too much money?
Certainly $100,000, $100,000. Is that too much money?
I can't argue with you, David. I can't argue with you. No, they do nothing. They don't earn it. But I'll tell you one thing. I believe the people who are, and we're talking one person, $100,000, maybe, okay, because you don't have the figures, and I don't have them either. But let's say $100,000. Mm-hmm. That person probably works 24/7, all the time. And what's on a person's like that mind is people who not only need a meal. It's not just a meal, but it's knocking on their door to make sure that they're there, that they're okay. And they've got telephone numbers to call relatives or friends or go to people in the building to see if they're go in with a key. They find people on the floor, literally.
And
And
so-
I find this disgusting what the Republicans did. And you want another one? Would you like another one?
I want to talk about this for a second, because you were talking a few minutes ago about a $600 million industry. And you were talking about how the liquor commissioners, you know, the compensation, when everything's said and done, is what, $150,000 per commissioner. And that includes...
So less than that.
All right, but roughly $130,000, something like that?
380 for 3, and we only have 2 right now.
All right, but so 380 divided by 3 would be about
$600 million a year business.
600. So, and you're saying essentially that they're getting beaten up and they should get more money for that.
I never said that.
Oh, okay.
And they're not complaining about the money.
That's
All
fine.
they would like
And
to
now-
run like a business.
And now we're talking about a public service agency where some of the leadership gets paid pretty significant bucks. No comparison between the scope of this stuff. And, you know, you're making this sound...
Wait a minute.
No,
Are you
I'm
telling me
still
no
going.
comparison to buying a little bottle of booze to handing a person a meal? There's no comparison?
I'm talking about the scope of the agency. I'm
The-
talking about the
the-
responsibility. I'm
excuse me.
talking about the money
Excuse
that's
me.
involved. I'm talking about
Yeah.
what they have to do to run
David,
the agency.
I think we should move on about the people not getting, you guys taking $20,000 away from Meals on Wheels. It's a pittance of money. We still give them $50,000 a year.
And it's a pittance of money.
Yeah.
I think you just put your handle on it. So what you're saying is Meals on Wheels, because Hillsborough County is taking $20,000 and is not donating what they have donated in the past, because they're trying to keep the property taxes down.
Oh,
and you're saying
Yeah.
that
No,
that's going to kill Meals on Wheels.
You have been there too long, David, and this is what they do constantly up at Hillsborough County. I mean, this is what they say every single time someone brings up, like, well, you have a $9 million surplus this year. They call it something else now. Why are you taking $20,000 away from the Meals on Wheels? And he's going, well, we don't want to raise taxes. Well, you know what I think?
What do you think?
I think every single person out there might want to spend, what is it, a dime, maybe? Is it 12 cents?
This is a perfect example.
12 cents per person. I think everyone out there would pay 12 cents.
This is
I
a
really
perfect
do.
example of what Democrats do all the time. They find little nitpicky things that are small in money.
Feeding people?
Little things.
Feeding people?
And then they say, well, wait a minute, we can do a penny or two more.
I
and
forgot.
the thing is,
These
Kenny,
people are the
you just do it-
47%.
You just do it again and again
The
and again and
Romneys,
again.
47%. These are the people of Meals on Wheels. These are the people that do not contribute.
How much?
You don't contribute.
How much is? Well, yeah, actually, I do.
All right, well, let's move on to something else. All right, let's talk about the social workers. I got a great idea.
Sure.
All I can say is that I know that some of the things that you did, and I don't want to point them out because everybody did some awful things on their first year, okay? I didn't know what I was doing, all right? All I can say is I'm happy to hear that you would do things differently. In fact, the speaker sat right down here, right, with us, and we talked about right to work.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned and looked at me across you
Mm-hmm.
and said, well, David didn't vote for it,
That's right.
okay? So, but you voted first for it, then you voted when you finally had the final vote.
When I learned more about it, yeah.
Like you wouldn't get reelected this year.
No, that wasn't it at all. I figured that it was the
know,
right thing to do.
And I didn't go after the speaker because he starts talking about all the great things that will happen, and I'm thinking to myself, there's not a business complaining about it up here, but all right.
Hey, I just had a thought. We're going to have actually it'll be aired before this show, so the speaker will have already been on. We've done a
Next
show
week.
with the speaker.
Yep.
And
Next week, so by the time you see the show, the speaker's already been on.
Right. What I think we ought to do is we ought to invite Representative Norelli. down. And
Oh,
what I
God.
think I'm going to do is
No, you're not.
I'm going to go to her office next week, and I'm going to invite her to come on
She
the air.
won't come on because I'm here.
Well, that's all right.
She won't.
I
She
can
won't
if
come
I
on.
want to give her
You know,
equal time.
I'll give Democrats a good reason to vote for me.
What's that?
The reason to vote for me, and I think everybody will agree, I am very independent. I think everybody right across the board.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that, when you see something good by Republicans or Democrats, you go for it and you try to help it.
Mm-hmm.
I am one of those people who really didn't give a damn. I just said, I believe this is the way it should be, and I went for it.
Right.
All right? That's just the way that I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But in the process, because I am that way, and we've talked about this before, the first seat she sits in,
Right.
that seat is chosen. The very last seat is also chosen for the person they dislike the most.
Really?
And you know who that was?
Who?
Me.
No.
Yes. There's Republicans in front of me and behind me and to my left. I am the last seat. So that's what you get for trying to work with both parties. And with your party,
Yeah.
people have got thrown out of their committees. People have, been threatened. I mean, it's been awful.
You know, one of the things that really impressed me about you, and this is
God.
about a year ago. There's a Republican, very conservative Republican named Jen Coffey, and you and Jen Coffey together sponsored a bill and came before our committee, Child and Family Law, and spoke to that bill. And what I really liked was the fact that the two of you probably don't agree on things more than 2% of the time, but you could come together to work together on a particular issue. I don't even remember what the bill was about, but I was very, very impressed with that. And that was sort of the first inkling I had of you, and kind of kept my eyes open.
I can't. It's sad, and I shouldn't say that because the Democratic Party has been good to me. I mean, I can't say that, but the leader in the Democratic Party has not. And in my opinion, we've got to get rid of her. We've got to bring David Campbell in because David. Do you know? It's 170 years since we've had a speaker from Nashua, and Nashua is the second largest city
I
in the
didn't
state
know
of New
that.
Hampshire. 170 years.
Really?
And we've had somebody, and she's worked hard. Norelli got to be speaker, and then she's running the Democrats, for 2 years. And if we come up and lose or don't come close, she should go on her own, but she's not. She's already campaigning for when the Democrats come back into session that she wants to be speaker or the head of the Democratic Party again.
What's interesting, because she's also the new president of the the National Council of State Legislators.
Oh, look, I love the lady, but Pelosi should have gone. Okay, Norelli should have gone.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Reid should have gone, and so shouldn't our great Democratic Party chairman. He should go.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is. You should start at the beginning with fresh ideas and fresh people and move on. But other than that, the Democrats are working very, very hard. I just would rather. I will if she comes on. I will sit. I will sit just like we sat last time. You invited her. I'll let you do the talking. I won't say anything. She won't come on though. She won't come on.
I'll tell you what.
If she put me in the last seat, she won't come on.
Would you be willing to wager $5?
Yes, Mr. Romney. Will you make it 10,000?
No, I can't afford 10,000. But just to make it interesting, that I will bet that former Speaker Norelli, currently leader of the Democratic Party. I'll bet that she'll come on the program sometime between now and the end of the year.
Oh, maybe after she's speaker again, or excuse me, head of the party again, she might come on. She won't come on before that.
You don't think she'll come on before the election?
No, she won't. She won't. And it's sad because I am a Democrat, and I'm just, you know, people think that the big thing is getting elected. It's not. The great politics take place up there. The great things and policies and how you get things. Why am I a guy who's sitting with people who are brilliant politically and don't understand dust on a floor? Because, you know, that dust on the floor blinds them from knowing the business is a $600 million a year business, and they don't care.
Yeah, you know, dust on the floor, dust in the wind, whatever. Looking at our clock, are we just about there?
Yeah, we've got about 4 minutes.
4 minutes to go.
Yes.
Otherwise, I thought I was going to get us out early and
No,
save us from...
we're both looking at clocks, by the way. You're looking at that clock, and I'm looking at this clock. Okay,
That's
we got
right,
4 minutes.
And it's all orange, too.
Well, how's your campaign? Well, let's get back to that. Is it going okay?
Campaign, I think, is going well. I mean, who knows? I'm starting to get into different things. I'm blogging now on Nashua Patch. I'm doing an entry every day, a brief entry on different things, not so much on specific political issues, but sort of an inside the campaign, what goes on. It's titled, you know, what's happening inside a state rep's head, enter at your own risk. And
is that right?
That's right. And just go on to Nashua Patch and you'll see me.
People watch this. Well,
and
okay.
I you know, I do things like
Have you been banging on doors at all?
I've been banging on
and
doors.
You have been making phone calls.
Making phone calls. I've been sending letters. I've been what I do on the patch is I do little explainers about, you know, why sign waving, what it does, how not to get blown over by the wind. I talked about bulleting.
What happened to the Telegraph? I thought you were going to get the Telegraph to come on.
Well, no, actually, I think I'm going to talk about them on the patch.
Boy, oh boy, that's something.
Talk about censorship, and we'll see.
No, I wouldn't do that. No, it's our paper. They've got a policy. I understand that. As I say, I couldn't get in the National Telegraph if I ran over a nun. I mean.
Well, maybe if a nun ran over you, that would
that
would be quite a story.
Guy bites dog. All right, and my campaign is going well.
Oh, Kenny, how's your campaign going?
My campaign is going fine. We got signs up. We're passing out. Oh, and by the way, where did it go? I think I dropped it. All right, let me pick it up. Yeah, this is it's called Out of Politics. Okay. Out of politics, and because that was something I used before, and I am an inventor. And
art of politics. There we go. Your logo and my logo.
Yep. And my sign is.
There we go.
Okay, here's my sign right there. And I started off by saying, "Stop asking politicians to work together. Tell them to work together to find another job." And I just said that.
You did.
And that's the quote, and that's how it starts out.
And is that what you're saying to former Speaker Norelli? Work together to find another job?
Well, no. I'm so sick of people. No offense. I know people write, I will save you money, I will do this, and I'll be a good person. In here is just a little story of, you know, what I do, where I'm coming from, and I think it's so everybody's going to get one of these. And so it's hard.
Everyone?
Oh, yeah, sure.
The whole in the district?
Yeah, everyone will get one.
It's like 5,000.
A little more than that.
Wow.
Well, each house will.
Yeah.
One house, because in a house there can be 4 or 5 voters.
Right.
Okay. So everyone. So if you see these, that's what I'm doing. All right, David.
Hey.
What else is coming?
Well,
anything else?
No.
Your telephone number, quickly.
978-500-9475. I'm blogging on the Nashua Patch. There we go, right there. You can reach me at on the patch or at davidsrobbins@comcast.net. You can come down to the studio and throw tomatoes at us.
That's right. No, you can't. You can add him because my name is Ken Gidge, and by the way, I have artwork at the Sullivan Bank on Main Street.
Ooh.
By the way, and I'm going to be on an art show. And by the way, the Boston Globe is supposed to do the story about me. And they called me up, and they're asking me a question about something that happened in the 60s. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. So you can get me at kgidge@AOL.com, kgidge@AOL.com. Telephone number 864-93, Wait a minute, 8649332. 332. Yes, I'm trying to think of other things as I am talking. Also, I have a website called Gidge World, which is about art. And I'm all over the place, basically. Just hit Gidge, etc., and you'll find me. And I think that's about it.
That's what they say about you.
All right.
Take care.
Good. Okay. Good night.
Good
Thank
night
you.
now.